In a small town surrounded by green hills and flowing rivers lived a young boy named Ethan Parker. He was the son of a simple carpenter. His father, Mr. Samuel Parker, spent his days fixing old furniture and carving wood to earn a living. Life wasn't easy, but Samuel always taught his son one thing. Ethan, success is not about money or fame. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. Ethan didn't understand those words back then. He only knew one thing. He wanted to become successful, rich, and respected by everyone in his town. Every day, while helping his father in the small workshop, Ethan would look out the window and watch other kids going to school. They wore clean uniforms and carried shiny bags, while his hands were covered in sawdust. Deep down, he dreamed of a better life. One evening, while closing the shop, Samuel said to Ethan, "Son, tomorrow I want you to deliver this table to Mr. Walter, the school principal." Ethan carried the table on his small cart to the school. When he reached there, he saw students playing and laughing. For a moment, he wished he could be one of them. As he entered the principal's office, Mr. Walter noticed his curious eyes and asked kindly, "Do you study somewhere, young man?" Ethan looked down and said softly, "No, sir. I help my father at the workshop." Mr. Walter smiled and said, "Helping your father is good, but remember, education can build more than furniture. It can build your future." Those words stayed in Ethan's heart. That night, he couldn't sleep. He realized something powerful. He needed to learn if he wanted to change his life. The next morning, Ethan made a bold decision. He went to his father and said, "Dad, I want to study. I want to learn how to build more than tables. I want to build dreams." Samuel smiled proudly, but looked worried. "Ethan, we can't afford school fees, but if your heart is set on it, I'll support you in every way I can." So, Ethan started working part-time at the workshop and began attending night school. His routine was tough: work from sunrise to sunset, then study under a dim streetlight. Many nights, he fell asleep with books on his chest. People laughed at him. Some said, "He's just a carpenter's boy. What can he achieve?" But Ethan ignored them. Deep inside, he heard his father's words echoing, "Success is about becoming the best version of yourself." Years passed. Ethan finished school with excellent grades. But his challenges didn't stop there. He wanted to study engineering, yet he had no money for college. One day, while fixing a broken chair for an old man named Mr. Robert Hughes, Ethan shared his story. Mr. Hughes was a retired professor who had spent his life teaching young minds. He saw the spark in Ethan's eyes and said, "Ethan, you remind me of myself when I was young. I'll help you get into college, but promise me you'll never give up." Ethan promised. With Mr. Hughes's help, he got a scholarship to study mechanical engineering. College life was a new world. Students came from rich families wearing branded clothes, driving cars. Ethan, on the other hand, wore old shirts and carried the same bag for years. Some students made fun of him, but Ethan never let their words break him. Instead, he worked harder. He spent nights in the library, learning not just from books, but from failures. One evening, his professor asked everyone, "What is success to you?" Students gave fancy answers: money, fame, luxury. But Ethan stood up and said, "Success is when your parents can sleep peacefully knowing their child did something meaningful. Success is when you can look in the mirror and feel proud of the person you've become." The entire class went silent. His words hit everyone deeply. After graduating, Ethan started a small workshop of his own. He wanted to design affordable furniture using recycled materials. His ideas were good, but business was slow. He faced losses for months. The bank rejected his loan application. Friends who once admired his ambition started avoiding him. Ethan felt broken. One night, he sat alone in his workshop, surrounded by unsold chairs and tables. Tears rolled down his cheeks as he whispered, "Maybe I'm not meant to succeed." Just then, he saw his father's old tools lying on the table. He picked up a hammer, and memories flooded. His father's words, his struggles, his promise to never give up. He realized something powerful. Success isn't about never failing, it's about never stopping after failure. The next morning, Ethan started again. He changed his strategy. He began selling furniture online, shared his designs on social media, and soon his creativity caught people's attention. Months later, one of Ethan's designs went viral. A beautiful, handcrafted chair made from recycled wood. It wasn't just furniture. It was a message of hard work and creativity. Orders started pouring in from across the country. Ethan expanded his business and named it Parker Creations. He hired other struggling workers and trained them, saying, "Everyone deserves a second chance, just like I did." Within a few years, Parker Creations became a well-known brand. Ethan's story was featured in magazines, and people called him the boy who built his dreams. But Ethan never forgot his roots. He visited his old school, met Mr. Walter, and donated money to build a new library for underprivileged children. One day, at an event, a journalist asked Ethan, "Mr. Parker, what's the secret to your success?" He smiled and replied, "The secret to success isn't luck, money, or talent. It's belief. Belief that no matter where you start, you can reach your dream if you don't quit. It's about patience, honesty, and learning from every failure." He continued, "Success isn't a destination, it's a journey. The moment you start improving yourself, you've already succeeded." The audience stood up and clapped. Many had tears in their eyes. Years later, Ethan opened a free training center for poor children who wanted to learn skills like carpentry, design, and business. He named it the Samuel Institute, in honor of his late father. He often told his students, "If I could rise from a small workshop, you can too." The secret lies in your attitude, not your circumstances. The children loved him, not just as a teacher, but as a living example of hope. Ethan's life became an inspiration to thousands. From a poor boy covered in sawdust to a successful businessman with a golden heart, his journey taught the world that the real secret to success is made of 5 things. Dream big. Even if your life is small, your dream shouldn't be. Work hard. There's no shortcut to success. Every step counts. Learn constantly. Education isn't just in schools, it's in life. Stay positive. Failure is not the end, it's the beginning of wisdom. Help others. True success is when your success lifts others too. Years later, when Ethan looked back at his journey, he smiled and said, "If my father hadn't taught me the value of struggle, I'd never know the meaning of success." He understood now that success isn't found in gold, fame, or recognition. It's hidden inside every person who dares to believe in themselves and never gives up. And that's the true secret to success.